This is the fateful play where things started going really bad. It is 28-12. Yes.
Yeah. So kind of setting this up, like I was saying, we talk a lot about this with how it always comes down to everybody saying, "Oh, it's all about execution." But at this point in the game, it's 28-12. New England has had the last 2 times New England's had the ball, they've scored. So they're the Atlanta defense starting to struggle here a little bit, and it's 3rd and 1, and you're back.
Yeah.
You're on your own 35, and this is the play call that Shanahan comes out with. And I understand that his defense of this was that it's wide open if it's blocked up correctly, and he's right, 100%. He's correct. If this is blocked up correctly by Freeman, they've got a big play because as this one rolls through, you're going to see that he's open.
But why are you looking for a big play on 3rd and 1?
And that's really more of my point.
Up 16.
Correct. Yeah. You're up 16 points in the Super Bowl. You've only got, by the time this ball snapped, there's only about 8.5 minutes left to go in the game.
Also, look at the formation. It's clear it's not going to be a run. The running back is in front of the quarterback. I mean, this looks like 3rd and 11.
Correct. There's that part of it too. But for me, it's more just it's 3rd and 1. Just run the ball. Even if you don't get it, then you're able to punt and you're going to be forcing New England to go a long ways. Instead, you have a breakdown in protection. Yes, you're going to have the guy wide open, but it doesn't work out because you've broken down. And
this year.
Yes, exactly. Yes. That's where the ball was supposed to go. So, when Shanahan says it was open, he's correct. But the thing is, the play call to begin with at 3rd and 1, run the ball. If you don't get it, you want to stick New England where they've got to go down the field. Instead, you have the fumble here, and now the ball, it's New England ball inside the 25-yard line. So it's a total game changer right here.
Oh, no doubt. And then look at it from this perspective. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He calls a 7-step drop from the gun on 3rd and 1, up 16 in the 4th quarter. If you don't run the ball here, which you should run the ball here. If you don't run the ball, it should be a quick throw, 3-step drop. You should not be dropping deep, holding the ball long so you can fumble or get sacked. And they did this multiple times in the second half of the Super Bowl. Multiple times.
Yeah, and it's just the worst case scenario is what happens. But I understand people. This sounds like hindsight, but in the situation, you've got to know. And the problem is this isn't something that just happened in 2016. We've seen this repeat itself since Shanahan became a head coach.
Also, this is a rough assignment. Devontae Freeman on Dante Hightower.
Yeah,
that's a roughest. Yeah, good luck.
I don't even think he touches him. He's looking somewhere else and then catches him. Tries to catch him late.
Even if he is looking at him, he's giving up like 60 pounds to him. Like, good luck, man.
Yeah. So, going back to Alex Mack, since that's what we talked about, you see he does a good job in the middle there too. But we can see that part of the play.
It's just interesting to rehash this play and look at what, how Kyle repeats history. This was the first one. But wow. Well, it's just totally like not in tune with the situation in the game.
And that's the biggest thing. It's just the situational awareness that just seems to be lost at times. I understand he's extremely aggressive and whatnot. That's fine, but there's times to be that extremely aggressive, and there's times when you just got to play smart.
Yeah, get the first down here. Keep the clock running. Win the game. You're up 16. Oh, it's interesting. Did you have any other plays from this game you want to look at?
Yeah, I got 3 more. Let's jump to 440 of the 4th.
Okay. This is younger Kyle. It's interesting, but has he changed much? We'll see. You said 440?
Yeah. You asked that question. Has he changed much? If you watch the Super Bowl that they for his last Super Bowl, you see a lot of the same things.
Yeah.
Kind of taking place. So this is first down, 1st and 10, and they're going to run the ball here. This is right after they made a big play to Julio Jones to get down. They're in field goal range. If you remember in 2016, Atlanta had Matt Bryant, who was one of the best kickers in the NFL that season. So they're in position right now to go up 11 points in this game and really put it away because there's only 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go. So they do it's a good opener. You run the toss sweep here. You're expecting to get it. New England does a great job of coming up and making the tackle and stopping him short.
Nice block by Mack too to get around 90, hold him up, take him out of the play. Otherwise, he would have been right there too.
Yeah, it's a really good job by the interior. They just don't get upfield, and they're outnumbered in the secondary, and New England does a good job of coming up and.
Okay.
So this is where the game, in my opinion,
is lost.
Is the next play call. So that's fine. But let's go to 356.
Okay.
you've only lost 1 yard at this point, and you're still in field goal position. You got the ball, and I think it's the 23-yard line now.
Yeah, it's 2nd and 11 to 23. You're up 8, 4:23 left. Yeah,
with the
should
clock,
win this game. Yeah,
with the clock winding as well, because you just ran it.
Right, exactly. You're in position. Like, you could just kick the ball right now and almost, but okay. Yeah.
Yep. And instead they come out and they go pass out of shotgun. It's kind of you can see them possibly run the ball to this situation, because there's a play early in the game where they run a play fake out of
this formation.
Yeah, a formation similar to this where they've got the backs in that same alignment.
Yeah.
But to go pass here out of shotgun, and it's not even a short pass. You're looking to throw this ball deep.
Yeah.
This is actually Alex Mack giving up the sack.
Interesting.
So on this one, you'll notice that Ryan's reading right the whole way. So Mack's getting beat.
Yeah.
The guy's kind of sliding off him. He starts to try to run him up the field.
And Ryan runs into it.
Yeah, Ryan kind of runs into it because he's been looking right the whole way. So once he senses pressure, that's where he goes instead of stepping up.
Yeah.
If he steps up right there, he's got plenty of time to either look downfield or escape out to his left, which is where he should go. But his focus was so much on the right side. So that's like a half field read right there where he's looking middle. He barely at the side at the very end, but he's pretty much sold to the
right. Matt could have recovered there if Ryan had just stepped the other direction, but he's not looking that way.
Yeah. So, again.
But again, this is a perfect situation to run the ball. 2nd and 11, trying to kill clock. You can run. You don't want to take a sack and push yourself back out of field goal range.
Absolutely. Just run the ball. Even if you lose 2 or 3 yards on the running play, big deal. I mean, you're still only at the 25-yard line. It's still an easy field goal for Bryant.
Yeah, and you just took 40 seconds off the clock, which is good.
Yeah. So they run this one. They get the sack. Unfortunately, Matt gets beat here.
But I feel like a big reason they weren't running the ball, this was 4 years ago, was Kyle didn't really have an answer for this front in the second half of the Super Bowl.
Sure.
And it's sort of the way that McVay didn't have an answer for the 6-man front in his Super Bowl. He just didn't adjust. And so he went to his passing game.
Yeah, exactly. I remember that whole conversation before that Super Bowl where you were talking about that. And and that's really what you see here. But it's still, I mean, I don't care if you're not moving the ball. You just made a big pass play downfield.
Agree.
You're in field goal position where a field goal at that point puts you up 11.
Take a knee.
So
honestly,
we can at this point, they drop themselves back. I think they're around 35. They come out the next play, they get a holding. Now they're all the way at the 45, and the whole thing kind of blows up. They end up, finally punting the ball away, but they've wasted so much time, field position. And so instead of being up 11, you're up 8. We know how the game ends, but that's one of the things where this conversation comes up a lot among 49er folks when it comes to Kyle Shanahan, and the blame is always on execution, but you got to be smart as a head coach at times.
Yeah, there was really no regard, no consideration for the situation in the game, like over and over and over again in the second half. It's kind of Kyle Shanahan has a lot of stuff that in his legacy, but those 2 losses in the Super Bowl are right at the top, and that's what's going to be rough for him. Eventually, he can change that, but that's what he's known for. That's what he's accomplished,
right?
More than anything.
He's just uber aggressive, and sometimes he just needs to temper that a little bit. And folks have talked about, wouldn't it be great to have Shanahan and Harbaugh together, to kind of mesh those 2 together. And that's where I always say, no way. I think they probably kill each other by about halfway through the season.
Yes.
And I just saw a thing the other day on Twitter. I don't know if you saw it, Grant, where it was back during his time as the offensive coordinator in Cleveland. And the Cleveland head coach tells him, let's run the ball here. And he basically looks like he's about ready to quit right there on the job.
He gives like the 17-year-old, like, do I have to take out do I have to do the dishes? Yes.
Yep. And instead he calls a pass anyway, and it works, but it's just one of those that just shows the dynamic and why he's better off where he is.
Yeah, when I watched that clip, I was like, okay, that's 2 years before you lost the Super Bowl, and that's why you lost it right there. That's why.
Yeah.
You want to pass the ball. You're a wide receiver at heart. That's the way I think of him. He's a wide receiver. He wants to spread the love.